There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing in. The man, the myth, the legend. The world's strongest man. King of the Posers TV. The realest metalhead of all time. The best mosher of all time. The man who influenced Black Sabbath is here to listen to Beneath the Remains. Sepultura, yes? You thought I was a poser! And here I am, listening to Beneath the Remains. You best retract that, alright? I had a recommendation on Patreon. It says I gotta check out Arise by Sepultura. And I'm going to do Arise. But I thought, you know what? Last Sepultura we did was Schizophrenia. And we've got a bridge that leads from A to B. And that is this record. So I'm going to get this one out of the way quick, sharp. 10 tracks. Probably looking at 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Without further ado, this is the title track. Let's jump straight in. Come on. Let's go. Super fast. Fast, composed, tight. It's rare you get that. It's rare you get super fast and super tight at the same time. It's hard to do at the same time. These dudes are, Jesus Christ almighty. I mean, already, by what I'm hearing, 3 minutes in, this is better than Schizophrenia. This album is going to be better than Schizophrenia. You can just tell. You can tell already. How long was this? When was this put out? We got 1986. 1989, sorry, 1989. When was Schizophrenia put out? 87 or something? That was pretty amazing, right? That was so tight, so fast. That's a push pit party central. And it's a very mature sound. It's not just like written by Numbers thrash metal. It was very mature. I mean, we were jamming out on the open E string a lot. Not wrong with that. It'd be easy to fall into just like a bit of a basic sound in doing so. But these dudes had a very composed and tight attack to what was going on. We've got Inner Self coming up next. Let's keep this ball rolling. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Sepultura. This record was put out by Roadrunner. Let's go. Apparently they didn't give them a very good budget on this one. They were quite uncertain as to the potential of Sepultura, a commenter said. Mic check. One, two, three, four. Oh. Looks a bit like Mustaine. Hardcore. Let's go. Let's go. Where are we going? That's a punk rock beat right there. Rubbish guitar solo. Rubbish guitar solo, that. Get back to the riffs. Get back to the riffs. Who's moshing? Who's moshing? Bow, bow. Bad up. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good. Some great riffs. The introduction riffs were really good. Great switch up, great energy changes, great mosh track. Very punk rock element to that tune in particular I picked up on. Stronger Than Hate is coming up next, which is going to be track number 3, okay? And let me just say one thing. As cool as they might be, the music video to me removed a little bit of the energy, a little bit of the atmosphere we get from just seeing the beautiful album artwork. This dark and dingy sound and tone. When we watched them in this different light with all these illuminated lights and this sort of big rock star appearance, I feel it reduces the atmosphere that this record has. With that being said, we've got track 3, Stronger Than Hate, coming up next. Yes, now bless now, don't forget the rest now. Yeah. Stronger Than Hate is track number 3 on Beneath the Remains. That's what we're listening to today in its entirety. Shall we jump in? I think we should. I'll see you there. Let's go. Yo, I've got some real metalhead here in the comments section. So, in response to someone saying early Sepultura is the best Sepultura, guy called Gregory says hell KSAD is when they went down, and then Madden responded to the original commenter. Gregory thought he was speaking to him. He says, hey, I've seen you on Jason Becker videos, nice tasting music, man. And Gregory Leonard responds, he goes, is that in reference to me? If so, I have no effing idea who that person is. I only listen to thrash, gore grind, death metal, and black metal. Gregory Leonard, I'm going to give you a thumbs down. I'm going to dislike that comment. Nobody cares, mate. King of the Posers TV.
No tomorrow is my oppression. My street of pain leads my way. Look at me, my feelings turn stronger than hate. I can't decide on which way to turn. My choices are filled and fall between.
Gonna go see Negative Approach tomorrow. Come on.
Look at me, my feelings turn stronger than hate.
Stronger than hate.
I can't decide on the way to turn. My choice of filled and fall between.
Uncivilized Man says 83 Kill 'Em All, 86 Rain in Blood, 89 Beneath the Remains. That's my personal holy trinity of thrash metal of the 80s. Uncivilized Man, that's a rubbish list, my friend. It's a rubbish list. Kill 'Em All shouldn't be on there. Nah, get rid of Kill 'Em All. Get rid of Kill 'Em All. As far as Metallica's concerned, I'd take Ride the Lightning over Kill 'Em All. That's what I'd say. Arguably, I'd take any of the Metallica 80s records over Kill 'Em All. Maybe Kill 'Em All more so than Injustice for All. Let's have a look. We got 48 responses to that. Someone put Deicide in there. He said thrash metal, mate. Somebody said Sodom in 87. Risk Megadeth to win. Agent Orange and Pleasure to Kill. Annihilator with Alice in Hell. Alice in Hell is a terrible title for a record, in my opinion. No, Kill 'Em All blows, said Xevious. It's played out and I can't listen to it. Slayer, don't listen to anymore. Hell Awaits. This guy is ridiculous. Obituary Cause of Death, somewhere in top 3. Bro, that's death metal. I don't know about Holy Trinity. No, I'd throw in Lamb of God, but probably don't meet your requirement. He also said the 80s. Disliked. Bonded by Blood, Doomsday. Right, enough of that.
A lifetime of remorse. There's no pain that I've ever been.
Hard. It sounds like Madball, man. That was a good little outro, that wasn't it? It caught my attention. My ears perked up a little bit there. Stronger Than Hate was the title of that one. Let's keep on going. We got Mass Hypnosis coming up next. I'll see you there. Yes, now. Yo, there's Rocksteady at King of the Midgets TV. Beneath the Remains. Track, no, surely not track number 3. Track number 4 we're on now. Mass Hypnosis. Let's go, shall we? I'm tired, people. I'm tired. Story of my life, right? Panic chords. Let's go. Da-da-la, da-da-la.
Try to find a reason why. Look inside your head.
the drums to continue on like that over this dreary, slower lead guitar, these broken chords. It's quite inventive. It's quite inventive. You don't hear it often. Dun, 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 dun.
Looking inside and flipping themselves. Feel close eyes, the joke. Signs simple night, wars are strong. Look inside the eye in this world. Hey, to the answers. Mass hypnosis. Soldiers going nowhere. Soldiers blinded by their fate.
Dun, 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 dun. Very good. That was Mass Hypnosis. That was a good tune. That was a good tune. I like the panic chords in there. The dissonant, high register guitar work. That's really good. You know, although this is an incredibly tight record and although it sounds overtly technical, a lot of these riffs are just open E chug. But rhythmically speaking, they're quite inventive, and these dudes are very groovy in their own way, even in a very fast tempo. Sarcastic Existence is going to be track number 5 of 10. So we're verging onto the halfway point here. I'll see you there. Let's keep going. Mic check. 1, 2. Have we got volume? We've got volume. Yo, Sepultura. Beneath the Remains. That's what we're listening to. Track 5 of 10. I got a different t-shirt on. Possibly. That is because I fell asleep in the middle of this album. Not because of the album, but man, I was so exhausted. If you've been following me on the Patreon and you've been just going album by album, you're slowly seeing me just fall apart. Alright. My body, my brain was like, get to sleep. Stop grafting, alright? So here we are. Am I freshly rested? I've had a day worth of work, alright, but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling smoother. Did a long sleep help me out? Heck no! Because I was the grumpiest guy on planet. I was kicking off with everyone this morning. I gotta give some love and respect to those I kicked off at. This is a few crumbs on my top. Sarcastic Existence. Let's jump in. Little fade in to get the ball rolling, yeah? Before we get in, someone's got an interesting comment. Jay Critchford said, I don't think I'd ever given Sepultura credit for how many metal subgenres they have either predated or spearheaded. Morbid Visions came out a year before Scream Bloody Gore, yet never gets included on essential death metal lists. Beneath and The Rise are absolute thrash classics of the highest order. Chaos and Roots are rightly held up as groove/new essentials, and are now circling back to prog with Machine, Messiah and Quadra. What do you think to that? Punk rock. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Let's go. Bow. Bow. This Stokes with 51 thumbs up says, right at the nexus of prog and thrash beautiful. I hadn't heard no prog in this, to be honest. Just riffs in it. Brilliant. Some great riffs. Tight as hell. Thrash with the punk roots, which is where I like my thrash metal. Of course, it's overt, technical metal riffing, type metal riffing, advanced metal riffing. Well, you know, that's each to their own, but being a metal guitarist, I know that this is good guitar playing as far as thrash metal is concerned, and the drummer just... We got punk beats, we got skank beats, we got thrash metal the way I like it. I can't complain. This is a great sound comparatively to where some thrash bands may have taken their sound. We've got Slaves of Pain coming up next. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. Last track was a banger. They've all been bangers. Slaves of Pain is the title of this one. Track number 6. Let's keep going. Sounds like Cro-Mags, like a fast Cro-Mags off of the Age of, not the Age of Quarrel, Alpha Omega. Come on, better. This record has got quite a good amount of hooligan riffs. What's a hooligan riff, you may ask? Any sort of riff or melody that can be sung along. And I understand, well, a melody, of course a melody can be sung to, but the specific types of riffs and melodies that can get the boys together. Oh, if you're from the UK and you know about football chants and all this and that, that's a hooligan riff right there. This riff. Nice. Some inventive guitar solo. Bap, bap, bap. That was good. That was Slaves of Pain. Good tune. Inventive guitar soloing. We are very alike on each and every song. And that's a complete benefit to the band because the sound is incredibly tight. If I'm to give one term, one word to describe the instrumental of this act throughout this record, tight. Tight as nails, man. Really tight record. As far as, I know they got to play to a click and they're in the studio and they're doing the best, but you can just tell these dudes have nailed exactly these songs. We've got Lobotomy coming up next. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. This is track 7 of 10 entitled Lobotomy. Let's jump in. Come on. Here we go. Better.
Screams of agony, satisfied and proud. But these screams you ever inside in conscience. Contradiction, aggression, isolation, illusion. Never fucking take my mind. Too much just to forget so fast. My stress scrape the passion. Feel the pain of my heart.
Come on. Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da.
Self-blame can hurt me, eye for an eye. You receive your just reward. Now live my life with difference. I show without remorse, I slow without fear. Pray and pray, pray and pray, pray and pray, pray and pray.
That's a great riff. If that was drop tune, that'd be a Deathcore riff. That. Better. Very nice. Very nice. That was Lobotomy by Sepultura. That was a catchy riff, wasn't it? Lots of catchy riffs on this record. The drum work was fantastic as well. Bruh, you know what? I haven't commented on the bass guitar like ever. So, you know, the bassist, they're not giving, it's one of them records, it's one of them bands, it seems. They're not allowing the bassist to shine on this record for some reason, just having him play the guitar lines. And if he's played anything different, I'm not picking up on it, alright? That's the way it is. We got Hungry coming up now, which is probably my theme song, alright? I'll see you there. Yes, now, bless now, don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Listening to Sepultura. This one is entitled Hungry. It's track number 8 of 10. We're listening to Beneath the Remains. Let's go. A lot of people are rating Quadra. A lot of people in the comments saying they're back to good form from the last record. Come on. Bep, bep. Bep, bep. Jeez. Some of these riffs are relatively simplistic. They're played incredibly tight, but some of them are actually quite simple. But the powerhouse of a drummer adds this depth, and I gotta give some props to the production value as well, because they can turn what may be a relatively simple chug riff into something massive, into something excessive in its own way. And with that being said, Hungry, it was just another song off of Beneath the Ramones. Yeah, it was just another track off of this album. Me personally, I would have called it an 8-track record instead of a 10. We've kind of heard the same ideas now. We're not really breaking the mold at this point. But luckily for us, we've got a couple of shorter tunes to finish the record off. Let's see if they sway my opinion on that. We've got Primitive Future coming up next. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Sepultura, Beneath the Remains. This one is entitled Primitive Future. Let's jump in. Track number 9 of 10. Come on. Better back. That was blazing fast, fresh, man. I'll tell you one thing. I reckon the band with this particular sound works better in the space of 3 minutes as opposed to the space of 5 minutes, you know? I reckon the songs just work better. They're more intense, they're more in your face. There's more leeway to be fast and just extreme because you don't have to draw it out to the, you know. I think there's a boundary in my personal perspective as to how long a song can be before it starts to reduce itself of the extremity. The music could be the exact same from 1 minute to 6 minutes to 7 minutes. But with that being said, how much extremity can you take in the space of 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes? It's better to just sort of compose it and concentrate it into a big bundle of energy such as what we had then. I come from punk rock, so that's my personal experience. Top comment here is one of the best guitar tones in all extreme metal. I think the guitar tones are really good, but as much as the guitar tone, I think the production value really gives this band justice on this record. This song is one of the absolute best to finish an album with. So much energy in this. So we might actually just have an outro here. Let's just see if it's an outro. Because we've got track 10 coming up here, but somebody says the best to finish off, so let's just find out. Right, I'll see you there. We've got another track to finish. I'll see you there. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, finishing off Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. This is track 10 of 10. What it's entitled, you tell me. I don't know. Is it in Brazilian? Who knows? I know Camila Cabello, if that's her name. Heavy metal. Is this a cover song? It is a cover song. The Mutants. Brazilian, eh? Someone says, was this recorded during the Beneath the Remains sessions? It sounds oddly different from the rest. It sounds like it was recorded during Schizophrenia. And someone says that's probably because it's a cover from a psychedelic rock band. Haha. I'm going to dislike that because it's not probably because of that, you idiot. The music is different. The production is different. The production is of a lesser quality as to what we had in the prior ones. Maybe they didn't bother putting money forward to get this mastered, perhaps. Because what we heard, or what we read in the earlier comments was that whatever, was it Roadrunner? Didn't necessarily want to invest too much into Sepultura at this point. I assume, given that... Will we get in volume there? Hold on one moment. Yeah, I assume, given that somebody said it was a psychedelic rock band they covered, the original sound wasn't necessarily like that. I mean, like the intensity and the riffage and so forth. Was this a hidden track? Long after Primitive Future? Or was this on a separate release of the record? You tell me. Because I've had comments saying that number 9, Primitive Future, was the last song of the record. So this might have been buried away as a hidden track, potentially. We're not going to listen to the drum tracks and scratch guitar. That we've got 2 demos to finish that playlist. Who cares about that? So with them being thrown in the mix, maybe it was a B-side of such, added onto a remaster, potentially. Cool. Right, I'm going to give this album a rating out of 10, and I'm going to talk to you about my experience with this record, and I'll give you an overview, and then we're going to have a look at some history of this record. So if you're into this, hold on tight, and I'll see you soon. Peace. Yes, now, bless now, people. Do not forget the rest now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Sepultura is who we listen to. Beneath the Remains was the record in particular, and we had 10 tracks on this record. Some in the comments may say 9. 9. And here is my opinion of said record. So I got onto this just threw a recommendation on the Patreon of listening to Arise. And considering we had done Schizophrenia, it made sense to just sort of bridge the gap and do Beneath the Remains. Alright, I had a mate who was mad on this record back in high school. He sent me a track or two. I can't remember which ones in particular, but I did know that it was quality metal music. I did know that. I was already pre-biased to believe in that. I like the album artwork. Now, the music, I don't believe I was listening to a remaster, and if I weren't listening to a remaster, the production's very good. The production arguably makes the record. Instrumentally, this record is super tight. Great technicality without being overtly like tech thrash, if you want to call it that. If you're a genre nerd, it's not necessarily verging on a tech metal band, but the tightness and the composition is that of very well experienced and advanced instrumentalists. The guitar work is super tight, super tight, especially in correlation with the drums. The vocals are good. The vocals aren't like boring trad metal vocals. Like we're verging into a more modern vocal approach with the vocal line, and that treats me well. That's what I'm into. Average song length, you're probably looking at about 4 minutes 40 potentially. You know what I mean? Passing 5 minutes isn't a problem for this bunch. That's for sure. And that's where I'm gonna criticize this record. It took me 2 days to listen to. I fell asleep just out of like exhaustion from my day-to-day activities in the middle of my listen through, so it's not like the album bored me to death. That wasn't the case, but through both experiences, listening to both halves of the record, somebody who's got an attention span such as mine, someone who's into shorter songs, I'll be real with you. It's too much, man. 5-minute tracks for the intensity and the extremity Sepultura were doing. It's too much, man. It's too much. It became boring. Honestly, it's too much. It became boring. This was, albeit very good, it was a beautiful contrast. It was a beautiful contrast because I really appreciated and perceived what I was hearing as better metal music, better thrash metal music than 95% of thrash metal I have heard, not only on this channel, but generally speaking. But it was incredibly boring. There's no change, right? When you listen to the title track, Beneath the Remains, that is what you're sitting in for. The next 9-10 tracks. There is no deviation at all from the sound you're getting from Beneath the Remains. So if you really like the sound and the energy, yeah, you're in for a great ride, most definite. But if you want some degree of variation, you are not going to get it. There's going to be a couple of riffs that catch your attention that you really like, but it's going to be near to no different or variation to a riff you'd heard in the last track or the track before. So that's a crazy criticism. It just goes to show. You could have done this 7 tracks. If Beneath the Remains was 7 tracks, I would have said well done. Well done. That's a quality record, but it outstayed its welcome. Do you know, when I got to track 4, 5, 6, 7, there's nothing new I can comment on. There is nothing new I can comment on. It's just like, alright, it was good. Because it was good. It was good, but with that being said, I'm grumpy as hell. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'm going to kill off the metalheads with this one. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because of that reason. I can't come back with only 4 songs to go and fall into boredom whilst listening to the record. I can't do that. I can't come to a record and have that be my experience. And on that note, we got Arise coming up next, so we got time to change my opinion, alright? I'll see you there. Peace, one love, people. Bada bing. Yes, now, bless now. Yo, we just listened to Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. I just gave it a review. If you want to know what I rated this record, go watch the reviews. Go watch the track by track listen. But right now we're going to have a look at some background information, see the history behind this band, and see if I got anything to comment on. This will be Wikipedia, so clearly, you know, if anything is incorrect or this, that, and the third, let me know. Okay? So Beneath the Remains is the third studio album by Brazilian heavy metal. It's crazy how it's only the third. It feels like a fourth or fifth record, to be honest with you. So Beneath the Remains is the third studio album by Brazilian heavy metal band Sepultura, released on April 7th, 1989. It was their first release by Roadrunner. So who were they on before? Who were they on before? Schizophrenia was on by Cogumelo Records, perhaps? And that was in 87, Schizophrenia was put out. The album had improved production and songwriting compared to the band's previous album. Yeah, it was a lot better than Schizophrenia. In time, it would be acclaimed as a classic in the thrash metal genre. It's funny how it would be a classic. I can see why, but I don't know many metalheads who are really that fussed on this record, or Sepultura as a whole, to be honest with you. And the people I know who are into Sepultura like Sepultura for their 90s work. Believe it or not. I mean, that might anger the metal purist, but a lot of people I know like Sepultura for the work in the 90s. So according to vocalist Max Cavalera, Sepultura had really found their style on that album. In January 2013, Beneath the Remains was inducted into Decibel magazine's Hall of Fame, becoming the second Sepultura album to do so, the first being Roots. This induction would make Sepultura the first band to have more than one of the albums being featured into the Decibel Hall of Fame. Cover art. This was the first album to feature a Michael Whelan cover art. There's a bit of controversy surrounding the cover art used for this album. Sepultura had initially planned on using another Michael Whelan cover art, Blood-Curdling Tales of Horror and the Macabre. Igor Cavalera had even gone so far as to get part of the painting tattooed on his arm. However, Roadrunner convinced Sepultura to use Nightmare in red as it felt it better suited for Beneath the Remains. Monte Connor, the sign to the major, and the major says, no, you can't do what you want to do. You have to do what we tell you. You signed the contract. You signed the bloody contract. How bittersweet is that? Because that album cover is fantastic. I love that album cover. Roadrunner made a great choice. Made a fantastic choice. But how sad is it that the label, who have got nothing to do with the creative element of what Sepultura was prior to being signed. Sepultura got themselves signed with their creativity, ideas, and projects. And now they're telling them what to do. That's sad as hell, man, but here we are. Roadrunner Records convinced Sepultura to use Nightmare in Red as they felt it was better suited for Beneath the Remains. You're right, Roadrunner, you are right. I don't even need to look at the other album artwork, because I love that album artwork, Beneath the Remains. Okay, so Monte Connor of Roadrunner later sent the original artwork to Obituary, who used on their album Cause of Death. What? So Monte Connor of Roadrunner, who's this guy? Who is this guy? A&R? A former senior vice president of the A&R. Yeah, okay, cool. A&R isn't what it used to be. A&R was powerful back then. So let's have a look at the Cause of Death. Whoa! So, I've just had a look. Can you see this on screen? I don't know if you can. The Cause of Death artwork. Whoa. I'll be real with you, yeah? I'll be real with you. That artwork, the Obituary Cause of Death artwork, is well more known than the Beneath the Remains artwork. I know people who've got the Cause of Death artwork tattooed on them, which is quite funny because it says that Igor got it tattooed on as well. I know metalheads with the Cause of Death artwork tattooed on it, probably because it's Obituary, don't get me wrong, as opposed to the artwork, but that artwork really is special. After seeing that, I don't know. Fuck. I would like to have seen that artwork with the Sepultura logo and title on it to see how it looked. Still, both very good artworks, but Yeah, I can see why Igor Cavalera would be Cavalera, whatever it's called, whatever he's called. I don't care. I can see why he would be upset because that is good artwork and that is like very well known artwork. I hadn't even listened to that record, but I know the artwork through and through. That being said, genre is thrash metal and death metal, classifies as death metal as well. I can see that. I can see that. Produced by Scott Burns, who's produced a lot of good records as far as metal's concerned. And it was recorded between December 15th and 28th in 1988. Right, cool. It wasn't released until 4 months later in April 89. Background and recording. Max Cavalera travelled to New York in February 88 and spent a whole week negotiating with the Roadrunner label. Although they offered a 7-record label deal to Sepultura, the label was unsure of the band's sale potential. The album's budget was a small amount by the label standards. They gave them $8,000. But in the end, the cost was almost as twice as its original budget. Don't make a difference, Sepultura. You're going to have to pay up. You're going to have to pay up. It's all a loan. It's all debt. Scott Burns, who had previously engineered records by death metal likes Obituary, Death and Morbid Angel, was the chosen producer. Burns agreed to work for a low fee, $2,000, because he was curious about Brazil. So, Sepultura spent the last half of December 88 recording the album. So they went to Brazil with Scott Burns, is that right? From 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's what they're recording. The studio was specifically chosen because it was the one where some years before Brazilian rock band Titus had recorded their classic album, blah, 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 which impressed Sepultura. Burns had brought some drum equipment and Mesa Boogie amps to Brazil, a rare item for production standards at the time, which helped improve the sound quality. I wonder if Sepultura actually had to end up paying for him bringing his amps, you know what I mean? He's not paying for it, is he? Reception. Beneath the Remains has received critical acclaim. All music writer Eduardo Rivadavia... fucking hell, so many names, man. Noted that the album marked the band's transition from third world obscurity to major contenders in the international extreme metal arena and called it the most essential death/thrash album of all time. Adam McCann of Metal Digest called Beneath the Remains a real heavy metal classic and wrote, with Beneath the Remains, Sepultura almost drew a line in the sand. They tightened up the sound placed down on their previous album, Schizophrenia, amped up the power and created a real beast of an album where not only Sepultura fans hail it as the best Sepultura album ever released, but an album which frequently rides very, very high in the best heavy metal albums ever released. Rightly so too, for Beneath the Remains, all the stars aligned for Sepultura and it lit the blue touch paper that would soon catapult the Brazilians in the heavy metal stratosphere. All Music gave it 4.5 out of 5 and Q Magazine gave it 3 out of 5. All lyrics are written by Max Cavalera and Andreas Kisser, except where noted. All music is composed by Sepultura. So Max Cavalera is making all the money. That's basically what it means when they say all lyrics are written by Max and Andreas. That means they're making the money. Full stop. Don't matter what deal they got going on. Don't matter whatever. Whoever's been credited for the lyric is making the money. As far as the rest of the money, the record label's making that. All right. Within reason. If you learn one thing from this listen through and you're not too familiar with music business, if you write the words, you're making the money, alright? Simples. Or if you're credited for writing the words, you don't even need to write the words, if you're credited for writing the words. And there you go, that's some info. As far as the United Kingdom, they peaked at number 9 on the UK Indie chart. Guest musicians. Kelly Schaefer of Atheist, background vocals on Stronger Than Hate. John Tardy of Obituary, background vocals on Stronger Than Hate. Scott Latour of Incubus, background vocals on Stronger of Hate. Francis Howard of Incubus, background vocals on Stronger Than Hate. Henrique Portugal on synthesizers. Who's Henrique? Not much information on him. With that being said, we're going to move on to Arise, so I'll see you there, people. Peace.